Hi everyone, my name is Marina. I'm the Mite Medic. I wrote a best-selling book, The Demodex Solution. It's a 90-day program to get rid of your Demodex mites. I am really an expert at Demodex specifically because I've gotten rid of them myself. I've helped hundreds of people get rid of them and create sort of a remission in their Demodex mite overgrowth. Demodex mites is a microscopic mite that are on everyone. They're on everyone's skin biome, on their epidermis. Their food source is sebum, so that's created from our skin. It's just the natural oils. They feed off of those natural oils on our skin. And they overpopulate when we have a lowered immune system, when we are immunocompromised from maybe a different illness. We might be on chemotherapy or on a specific drug. And when we're talking about drugs today, I wanted to discuss ivermectin and how ivermectin and Demodex have been used hand in hand, how ivermectin has been used to treat Demodex, at least try to treat, but it has been one of the prescription drugs that have been prescribed by physicians to treat these parasites or these mites. I wouldn't even call it a parasite because they're natural on our skin. It's similar to the bugs that we have on our skin. We have a diverse population of creatures on our skin microbiome and in our gut microbiome, and these are natural, but they become pathogenic when they overpopulate. But you have to think of them as friends. You can't think of how I eliminate all of them, because without all of them, then we'll have a disbalance in both our skin and gut microbiomes. And so when we start to change our mentality about Demodex mites and look at them as our friends, and we just need to balance our body out. We just need to balance that out and understand where we're lagging. Have I been on an antibiotic that's been triggering this reaction? Because antibiotics, they kill bacteria, but then that causes a disbalance in the biome as well. So, and bacteria tend to be very, very resistant to antibiotics, to all new antibiotics. That's why we've been creating constantly new antibiotics, because these bacterial strains, they become resistant to those specific antibiotics. And so in regards to ivermectin, it's basically an anti-parasitic. A lot of people have seen the correlation between ivermectin and coronavirus, but I am not a physician. I'm not going to discuss that today, but today I wanted to discuss the correlation between Demodex mites and ivermectin. That's actually what doctors do prescribe. And really I wanted to discuss the risks of ivermectin, really. So the potential risks of ivermectin, you do start to see a large immune system impact. This is very similar to antibiotics, antifungals. If you're killing off too much of the good bacteria or good parasites, ivermectin really tends to kill off everything. But this could be very, very concerning because your body can become very vulnerable to other infections and illnesses. So when you're trying to get rid of your Demodex mite overgrowth and you're consuming ivermectin too often, if it's consistent, if you're reoccurring and you are taking ivermectin consistently for years, the body will become resistant to it eventually. But not only resistant, the body will become even more immunocompromised. A lot of people, me included, by taking antibiotics specifically, I remember I became very sensitive to the sunlight. I became very much immunocompromised. Other conditions developed. I developed candidiasis because of that. And with ivermectin as well, it does tend to trigger the reaction even more, or just other conditions start to become triggered. Other conditions that you are predisposed to genetically are triggered even more and exacerbated even more when your body's immunocompromised from these toxins that you're ingesting. This doesn't apply to those who have severe demodicosis and take one round of ivermectin and then it's gone for good. These are for those people who are abusing ivermectin, who have tried it once and they keep trying and it's just worsening their symptoms, or they got rid of it one time and then the next time they unfortunately had a reoccurrence. So ivermectin isn't supposed to be taken singularly. You're supposed to take it in a specific program. There's a specific protocol that it's a dietary protocol, it's a supplementation protocol, and also ivermectin, same as antibiotics, you're supposed to take probiotics in conjunction to those antibiotics, especially if they're long treatment lengths. If they're longer, ivermectin shouldn't be taken for long either. But these protocols, they have to be in place to avoid that immune system impact. So when we're talking about ivermectin, we need to take probiotics for that. We need to fuel our body with the right foods. We need to give up those addictive habits. We need to understand that, are we smoking? Maybe that's compromising my immune system. Am I drinking alcohol? Of course, those are given. Everyone really knows, but ivermectin specifically, it needs a protocol. And especially when you're reoccurring consistently, you need to dive deep into the root and understand that this is not a toxic, a pill won't fix everything. Your body is a very, very intelligent machine, and it has different bugs, different processes working together. And once your body gets accustomed and understands, some pathogen bugs understand and are so smart and adaptable to those toxins that you're consuming, that they do reoccur, and it tends to worsen your symptoms over time when you do take ivermectin. So worsening, meaning gut microbiome disruption. Ivermectin can very much disrupt the natural balance of the bacteria in your gut. This can lead to numerous gastrointestinal issues. This can cause nausea, diarrhea, constipation. So having a healthy gut microbiome is very important in immune health and well-being. Taking ivermectin shouldn't be considered lightly, especially if you're taking ivermectin consecutively. So that means that you do need to change something. Ivermectin has a lot of side effects. So some individuals may experience side effects such as dizziness, headaches, skin rashes. In some cases, severe allergic reactions can occur. So it's very important to weigh these and really alternative approaches to managing Demodex mites. It is a healthy diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods. You can't just eat anti-inflammatory and then eat inflammatory foods the next day. You have to be very consistent with it. You have to understand that I am committing myself. I'm going to eat these anti-inflammatory foods for the next 90 days, and that's it. You know, because you have to keep yourself accountable, or hold yourself accountable that you are going to eat anti-inflammatory foods, and that's it. And you're not going to eat gluten, bread, sugar. Those specifically will inflame your body even more. Seed oils will inflame your body even more. That's been very prevalent, the seed oil toxicity, for many years now. High fatty meats, saturated fats are very important for cellular metabolism, for your immune health as well. So healthy diet is important. Very, very fatty fish, eating fatty meats, fatty healthy meats, fatty fish, and supplementation to compensate for the loss of the ivermectin. So you can take vitamin D supplementation. Of course, vitamin D is the key to any skin condition, especially Demodex. Magnesium is extremely important. It helps reduce inflammation, in addition to thousands of other benefits for the body and the whole its assistance in every process in the body, basically. berberine is important too. It has a lot of antimicrobial properties. Berberine can really manage bacterial balance on the skin specifically. So I would take that about 2 to 3 times a day. And of course, zinc for immune system health is crucial for skin health. A lot of people have seen benefits in taking zinc supplementation and their skin health improving. So that is something that I would consider. Probiotics are extremely important as well, because we're consuming something that's killing off that healthy biome, or even if it's an imbalance, it'll become imbalanced even more. Probiotic rich foods are very important. You can in my cookbook, I actually have recipes for probiotic rich compot. It's actually an Eastern European drink, probiotic rich pickles, sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir. Those are good foods, natural foods that you can create at home for an inexpensive price and very quickly. So probiotics, which ones do we need if you're buying them? You can get lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. Those are good strains to high quality strains that I would choose. And taking ivermectin, again, regular probiotic intake is very important to replenish that gut bacteria. I would take liquid probiotics because we've seen in studies that the probiotics contained in pills aren't, the bacteria basically dies by the time it hits the digestive tract or the stomach. So the liquid probiotics are more beneficial and definitely more effective. So if you want more efficacy, the liquid probiotics I would recommend more. So it's important to monitor your health as well. Reporting these effects to your physician, or just keeping a journal and understanding what you're doing right and wrong, and seeing where you can change things a little bit. So that's very important. And I do have a paragraph in my book about ivermectin. I'm going to the revised copy of the book in a few months. I'll be releasing a revised copy. It will have more in regards to ivermectin and how it's really something that needs to have caution around it, a little bit more caution, because if you speak to people who have Demodex, they will all tell you that yes, ivermectin helped, but I either reoccurred, or it has given me adverse reactions, or it has lowered my immune health, or has done nothing to help me. So I would consider that, and I would learn more about Demodex, what they are, how they eat, why are they even on my body. And the more you educate yourself on these mites, the better you'll be able to understand, is ivermectin for me? Is it not? Have I had adverse reactions to antibiotics before? Have I taken that before? And have I seen symptoms or adverse reactions from that specifically? So maybe I shouldn't take ivermectin right now currently, or maybe I should just try ivermectin, maybe a one treatment protocol, see if it helps. But I would love to reiterate that ivermectin has to be taken in a program, in a protocol, because it will not be effective and you will reoccur quite quickly afterwards if you're not monitoring those other aspects. So it's like a tree. You need to monitor everything. The branches around your body is like a tree. One thing, if it fails, then everything else will fail as well. You need to take care of the whole source, because one thing won't fix, unfortunately, our body is very complex. As you know, we have different bugs. Who would have known we had mites on our skin as well? But thank you so much for watching. If you would like to comment, subscribe, like the video, share it, and definitely comment. And I have a question for you. Have you taken ivermectin, and has it helped you? Have you been considering ivermectin? That's a question I'd love to hear an answer to, and see what your opinion is on ivermectin specifically. I will have a next video, usually once a week, but maybe I'll become a little more consistent. But as a promise, it's usually once a week, once every 2 weeks. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon.